Remember, remember the 5th of November, the gunpowder treason and plot. I know of no reason the gunpowder treason should. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Zareth Prevails. Folks, we are doing Conquest 10 right now, and I know that some people hate it. I know that some of you are in pain right now. We're in the middle of it, and I don't know if this guide is too late. I hope it's not. I hope it can help some people, but I have I'm calling it a whales account. I'm not really a whale. Well, I am. I don't think this guide is just going to help whales, though, is the thing that I'm trying to communicate. I know that some of the things, like, some people are just not going to have, but hopefully it will be able to help you guys in at least a few sectors. So we're gonna check it out. I'm just gonna show you guys what I do. I haven't watched any other people's guides. Maybe other people explain it and do it way more efficiently. I don't claim to be the sole arbiter of truth. What I do know is that my methods are pretty effective, and I'd like to show you guys what I'm doing. So I'm gonna show you guys the data disks that I'm using and how to operate around those. And I think they're pretty standard. I think most people have a similar loadout to what I have, and the feats can be really frustrating in 3, 4, and 5 especially, and so I want to show you guys most of how to do that. There are a couple things, like 5 I haven't finished, like the final boss fight. Haven't done that yet, so I can't show you guys how to do it, but the rest of it, I think I've got a pretty good methodology, and I'll show you guys how that works. So we'll do that, and otherwise, folks, just want to remind you, please, if you want to support this channel for free, all you got to do, hit that thumbs up button and maybe leave a comment in the comments area. Both things help us to mount the algorithm, which we're trying to do, and I really appreciate everyone for your work on that. You are all super amazing, so thank you for that. And without further ado, folks, let's jump into the actual conquest. Let's talk about data disks and sectors 3, 4, and 5. Whoa, we're in conquest. This game mode sucks. Why are we here? Oh man, madness. Okay, let's talk about inventory first. Just my loadout. So maybe there's a more optimal way to do it. I don't know. We've got the volatile accelerator, which just means every time they do damage, or when we do damage, then the opponents gain damage over time, etc. Thermal exhaust, I think, yeah, so we have the green one of that. I think we can get a better one, in fact. Maybe that's the best, who knows. Amplify agony, which is nice, because whenever we do a debuff, we also do max health damage. Caustic emissions, which is nice. I have 3 of those, because they're just 1 dot. You want the really high level ones. The white ones are okay, but especially the blue one is super crazy. Really nice, because if it puts burning on your opponents every time they take a turn, and so they're doing a ton of damage to themselves, and that's actually going to be key for one of our objectives, one of our feats. And then amplify agony, once again the blue version of it. So upgrade these things whenever you can. I'm guessing we can get better versions of thermal exhaust and volatile accelerator, though I haven't found them yet. So that's what I've got so far. And with that, folks, let's actually go look at the Sector 3 feats here. So you can see I'm not done quite yet with those, but we're getting there. So the feats here are not too bad. Let's move down to the bottom, shall we? That's what she said. I don't know if she says that. Your experience may differ. So we have all Bad Batch. So you got to get kills with a full squad of Bad Batch. There's no way around that one. The Rebel fighter units, once again, we have to get kills with those. Defense up we can get with Bad Batch, so I've already gotten the check mark for that one. And then Stagger is kind of a pain, but it actually goes really well with one of the universal feats that we have to do. So let's actually just jump into one of the fights here. First, I'll show you guys Bad Batch. One of the things that you have to realize, folks, is now that we're in Sector 3, it's hard to get a word in edgewise. Before, you could outspeed people, but it's a lot harder to outspeed an entire team now. And if you don't have fast enough mods, or you don't feel like swapping mods out, which I certainly don't, you have to find a team that you're allowed to actually get a turn. And that is usually with Padme, because Padme does that. They can be fast. They certainly are really fast, but they are not gaining bonus turn meter, and therefore they're going to have a finite number of turns. They don't have a turn meter mechanic to just keep like going and going and going. They'll eventually stop and give you a word in edgewise. So with Bad Batch, that is pretty much all you really need, frankly. So we're just going to go in here with the full Bad Batch team, and I'll show you guys the teams that we've got. I've got all these cool photos. I'm wondering if I can, maybe I will make an infographic. I'll put that on the, I'll put it on my Discord server. So infographics channel, just join the Discord server. Link is in the video description. So anyways, I mean, none of these are really rocket science exactly, but we'll get a screenshot, make it all fancy and everything, fancify it. So we've got all the, I mean, I'm doing the expensive conquest this time. I kind of like it actually. $30 is maybe a little steep, but I'm doing it just to see what it's like. I'll do a final evaluation at the end here. So anyways, in this case, I guess it looks like I am outspeeding them because I have the full everything. But I mean, with the loadouts that we have, all you got to do, as long as you get a turn with, see, you want Wrecker to get a turn so that he gives everyone defense up. That's really important. But as long as you get a turn with Echo, you can outspeed him. So let's see. I think that if we do it one more time, maybe it will actually, they'll actually outspeed me. But you want to find a Padme team, guys. Super important for almost every level, actually, just because it guarantees you can get a foot in the door, and that's super important. So let's try Bad Batch one more time, see if they, nope. Okay, so with the loadouts we have, though, I mean, Echo getting a turn. The thing is, you may have to try it a couple times to actually have it work, but as long as it does work, oh, so Wrecker didn't get a turn to be able to do his AoE, but there we go. So we actually, I think that just finishes it for me. Yep. So we got the Bad Batch one. The thing is, eventually you'll stop being able to take a turn, but make your Echo fast and you'll just be good to go, honestly. Okay, so for the Rebel Fighters one, this one is also tricky because you need to be able to get a word in edgewise once again. So you can do Padme, that can work. Now, keep in mind, this isn't a perfect situation. Like there's no perfect team for this one. You could probably game the system a little bit and make your Cara Dune really fast or your Hoth Rebel Scout really fast. Both of those are probably going to have a decent success rate, but what you have to realize, I mean, I have my Mon Mothma at like 300 speed. Sometimes it's just going to be tough to find a team that you can outspeed. So you need to be able to have a mechanic that allows you to eventually take a turn, which means that with a lot of these guys, I mean, you're going to lose people, of course, over the course of time, but because they're fast, but eventually you will get to take a turn. So, you know, maybe you'll just die, but here we go. So we finally got a turn. And we have our most important guys actually still alive here. So took out Kenobi there. Oh, they're hitting Worthless guy. That's great. And now, so we could try to steal turn meter or something. They've got foresight though, so probably, I mean, we could do this. Get Pow a turn, and we can zap Yoda. And I mean, it's not looking like great right now, right? I mean, we've got Pow left, and now Biston. And the thing is, though, guys, as long as you just keep plugging away here, you only need to get a couple of these every time. But I would recommend like start immediately, and you can see all these debuffs that are accumulating here. So it's really, I mean, you get there eventually. You got the kill. This isn't guaranteed wins every time, but every time you do kill, even if you lose the fight, you actually get those losses, those kills recorded. You can't like quit, you can't kill something and then leave, but as long as you die, that's actually not bad, and that's actually a strategy we're going to employ with the smugglers in just a moment. Okay, so let's talk about the final feat, folks, and this one is a little frustrating. So it's the stagger 60 times, and I don't think there's a perfect way. You can use Darth Revan, perhaps, if you really want to. That can work, but the other way to do it, because Darth Revan with Basti is going to eventually put stagger on everyone, because Basti can apply it through her her big special, whatever, and that works. But you have to be careful, especially with all of the data discs and stuff, because two of those require fear to actually expire, and it doesn't always happen that way. Sometimes they just drop off and die, and if that happens before the fear is expired, then stagger doesn't actually happen, and therefore she only gets 3 procs. So instead, we're gonna go with the universal one, folks. There's a universal feat for smugglers anyways, and so you can do the, I mean, I've had some success with this Kira team with Nest and Vander. I think it's going to be way stronger with Han and Chewie. The only problem being, of course, you need Kira to take a turn. So if you want to remod, make her super duper duper fast. You want L3 just to take hits initially, and you need a team that you're going to get a turn eventually. Veteran Han is nice because he can also get a couple shots in. If he gets a double tap in or something, then he's able to also get another stagger or 2 procking. So you only need a couple of these, and I mean, Han and Chewie it's kind of expensive, frankly, because you need that team a lot. So, I mean, I would recommend just shoot Anakin right off the bat. You just take him out, but then you don't apply more staggers either. So, I mean, there's a price to be paid regardless of what you do, right? That's how everything works. So you don't care about getting kills here. Really, what you want to do, you want to make sure everyone lives for a while. So, okay, you can do the AoE here, and that's fine. That's cool. That's kind of what you want to do. But instead, you want to do the basics. So, let's see. If the target is debuffed, you get a double tap, and it inflicts stagger when he attacks the second time. So you're gonna do this, and it tries to apply stagger. He has things that make it so that he doesn't, but that does count as 1 proc. Then you can throw the grenade from Kira, and now if they wipe us out, that's actually a wonderful result. So, I mean, they're not going to wipe us out, but I mean, they might. So you have to pray that they're just going to totally just take us completely out. But in reality, I mean, so you can call Veteran Han to shoot, so we can get another stagger attempt, and then, I mean, oops, you should probably should have double tapped again there. You know, you eventually just get too many turns with Han and you win. But you know, you can eventually get a bunch of procs on stagger there. And the nice thing about this, folks, is if they do wipe us out in this turn, then you eventually it just gives you the stagger procs, but it doesn't actually hurt your whatever it's called, the stuff. See, this is why I'm bad at Conquest strategy guides. I don't remember what it's called. The stamina thing, the thing that allows you to keep going. Your percentage actually doesn't decrease at all, so you could actually theoretically just spam that one location as long as you had enough energy. So let's see. So the final one that we're going to look at is this Han one, because it's so dumb. Han has to live in order for you to win this one. So I'll show you guys what I do. Okay, so I'm actually not going to run this one, guys. I've done it once. It requires some RNG. I'm guessing that there's a better guide out there for this one, but keep in mind, so their Han, if he dies, then you lose. And I guess you could maybe get it if you took some of your discs off and stuff. So, you know, I would recommend doing that if you wanted to use the energy for it. You could do that. But the team that I used for it is just Mothra instead of CLS. And this squad, you want to kill their Chupio first, and then after that, you just have to hope that their Han doesn't shoot your Han. And otherwise, if you have the right percentage, whatever they're called, I'm so bad at this, then you'll be able to just take them out. This is one that I would maybe, for your own sanity, I would almost suggest skipping this one. If you have 4 or 8 extra space of wiggle room in the red crate, I'd recommend just skipping this one, because this one is very RNG dependent, and you can absolutely fail if anything goes wrong. So that's Sector 3, folks. Let's go look at Sector 4 now. Sector 4 is... Actually, I think I enjoyed Sector 4 more than any of the other ones, but you gotta be careful. So the feats here, you can do. I'm not even gonna go over the kill everything with light side units. That's easy enough. You guys can figure that out on your own. The biggest thing is the potency down. We can do that with a full light side squad if we're cautious. Critical hits, you'll get that on your own, and then killing enemies with Empire units. This one took me a while to crack, but it's a pretty good one, actually, the solution. So let's actually go to that one right now. The solution for it's kind of nice. It's fancy even. So we got to find a Geo squad. And actually, I think it doesn't really matter, I don't think. It seems like some of them are faster than others, which is what she said. So we're going to be targeting a Geo squad. We're going to use Empire here, and the biggest thing, folks, is we're going to be using it. I'll show you guys more of the thumbnail here just to make sure you guys can see the squad. So we're using EP lead, and the reason for that is our opponents are going to be giving they're going to be gaining all these debuffs through our discs, data discs, and when that happens, we gain turn meter. So we got to be careful because Lord Vader is going to just kind of dominate. And actually, I just used consumables to get his stamina all the way up to 100%. But so maybe he goes first. Who knows? Yeah, he does. But even if he doesn't go first, yeah. So we can do this crush, and then we can. So they'll all just die here if we're not cautious. So now what we can do here, though, we'll activate Darth Vader here, and he can do a saber toss. And there's one guy we didn't actually get the kill on. I guess we could just do an AOE here and knock them out. So that works. Let's do one more though, where Lord Vader doesn't probably outspeed them. Maybe he still does. I'm not sure. Consumables makes everything all weird. I've done this when he was at like 65% and it worked just fine. He didn't get the first turn. So, fun anecdotal evidence and all that. But the idea here, guys, is we can get kills with a full Empire team. That doesn't actually count as getting actual kills though. So, we could also just let them, will this kill these guys? I guess we can find out here. So he does his thing, and then one of them dies. He keels over, and now we get Merciless with Vader. Can do a Force Crush, and everyone is close to dead, and we just start taking heads off if possible with Vader. And the only reason this works, though, folks, is because they have all these expiring debuffs. And those debuffs then feed our turn meter because of Emperor Palpatine lead. That's really the big part of it, folks. We just need to make sure that Lord Vader doesn't wipe everyone out before they start going. So let's do the one with potency down next. And I know I said previously, like, you can probably kind of coordinate it just a little bit with being able to do all light side, but I do find it's way easier to use with Watt. So one thing that happens in this sometimes is that Yoda just dies, and if that happens, he is revivable by Jolee, but you need to make sure that you're doing everything to keep Yoda alive, because he's the only one on basic. He applies potency down, and the thing is, if you lose this fight, that's fine. Obviously you're not getting stars or anything, but you still get all of the potency downs even if you lose. So you just got to be careful with Watt. Jedi Master Luke does not just auto taunt, so you put Watt here, and it's nice to have Watt just to keep Jedi Master Luke healthy, basically. But you don't want to use the AOE on Jedi Master Luke here, because you gotta be careful. You don't want the AOE would actually set off a pretty catastrophic chain of events that you really don't want to happen. So what the idea here is just to abuse Jedi Master Luke's ability or leadership ability to be able to just take Yoda. Every single hit of Yoda is going to be able to proc a potency down. And the idea here, of course, is to eventually just take everyone out, or to just take everyone out except for Nest, and you'll eventually just be able to spam basics with the Grandmaster Yoda, and and Nest will just have to take hits. Now, of course, Nest will eventually be buffed up so much that she'll just murder your guys if she gets crits. So that's, I mean, it's not a perfect solution, but the idea here is she's got so much protection that you can actually just take her out. She has days on here. She doesn't have like an amazing amount of potency or tenacity. But keep in mind as well, she's also going to be hitting really hard eventually. So I'm going to be careful with all of this. I mean, sometimes you can do an AoE here just to get that protection up again on her, so that you can start hitting her safely without taking her out completely. And note that we have Jolie and Luke here who can call assists for Yoda, and without actually being worried about, we can call assists every time. Now it does kind of glitch out just a little bit here and there, just because it is. There's so many debuffs involved, but you can use Watt to actually proc all of these damage over times, and now she has a ton of just of bonus protection. So now we can just hit her, and everything is good to go for a while. And now, like I said, it glitches out a little bit just because she has so many debuffs involved in everything, but that's basically just what we're trying to do here is, eventually get turns. It looks like Yoda is actually dazed, so we'll get the daze off of it with Jolie, which isn't probably the wisest course of action we've ever taken. But I mean, we don't care if we lose this fight. What we care about here is getting all of the potency down over time. So, we'll just keep going, and I'm not going to spend more time on it, guys. But you can, over time, slowly get this. It'll take you a few different sessions. You can't get it all in one go, but it does work long term, and as long as you get the win, don't just like, oh, I got 40, I counted, I'm just going to forfeit. Finish the battle, finish the fight, and once you're done with the fight, then you get the prize of being able to get all those procs. I don't need it, so I'm not gonna finish it, but don't just exit out. Do actually finish it and you'll get it. Okay, so just one last word about Sector 4 here, folks. The Jedi Luke one, you have to have a Gamma Guard survive. You just probably need to level your Gamma Guard or try for RNG, whatever. That was super easy for me. I got him to gear 12, but I know not everyone has that. Again, Whale Guide, etc. And then this one, just use the same team, guys, with Mothra and the CLS team. Otherwise, without CLS, it's pretty easy to get it. I got it with my stamina pretty low. So we got Sector 4 down. Sector 5, I don't have the boss finished yet, the main boss, but I can show you guys everything else, because this one could be a little bit tricky as well. Obviously, it's the one with all the relics and everything. We got to get kills with Mandalorians. We got to get attempt stuns 100 times, gain tenacity up 40 times, and win battles with Imperial remnants. So it's not super tough, but it can. I mean, it's maybe not the most obvious thing. I don't really know. So let's go through it one at a time here. So the feats here, we're going to first, I'll show you how to get kills with Mandalorian team, and this one requires Watt and Maul. So if you don't have Maul, this is going to be significantly more difficult. I think you could still do it, but Maul makes everything so much nicer. So it really doesn't matter what team we're going to be facing here. I mean, this is the one I just mowed through the three or four teams with it. You need to make sure, like, I don't really like a team with Nest just because she has stacking everything, but otherwise you can kind of just pick and choose a team. It doesn't really matter that much. What you're trying to do though is you want to get an initial kill with one of these guys. So I mean, I'm kind of dithering here trying to figure out which one I want to do. It's nice to have like Jango. It can be nice here just because Jango is you can kill him twice, right? So Go into Conquest 5 tab here, and we got Maul, and then we need Wat. And the thing is, with Maul, he starts with Frenzy, and so what happens is, it doesn't matter how fast Maul is, or how fast Wat is, for that matter. You have Wat take a turn, and instantly, like he'll use a special, and then instantly Maul is gonna get a turn, just like magic. He'll instantly get a turn, and he'll start going to town on people. So you have the turn with Wat because it's a bonus turn, and you can immediately, I don't know, we could put some weapons tech on Maul, I guess. It doesn't really matter who you're doing what with. I mean, you could probably, maybe it's wise to put weapons tech on Canderous, but so there's only one taunt, and the thing is, you're calling people to assist here, though. So you can call everyone to assist, and got him. And then call everyone to assist, and got him. Call everyone to assist, and they're all taunting and stuff. So, got them. You can do the AoE, and take out Sabine here. And then, eventually, we'll take another turn. And, Maul hasn't got a turn yet, but it doesn't really matter. Now, as long as we can assist here, we're good to go, and got the kill. So, as long as you get Wat with Maul, you get Frenzy. Maul's gonna get a lot of kills. We get a lot of hits. Call everyone to assist, and that will instantly give you a bunch of kills. So yeah, there we go. We got 6 more kills because Django counted as 2, and that's it for that feat. Okay, so let's do the one with the tenacity up 40 times and stun 100 times. So this one's fairly easy. I mean, you can use Night Sisters on the stun one. Like that's absolutely an option. Old Doc, if you spam basics with her, you're eventually gonna get the stun one. But while we need to get tenacity up, we may as well just use a team to try to work on both of those first. So we're going for a little bit of efficiency, and what we're going to be doing is Jedi Revan Lead, because the lead ability, if you have it Zeta'd, which you should have, then at the start of every turn you just gain tenacity up on everyone. So you just immediately get it, and then if you get a turn with Grandmaster Yoda, you can get it to everyone one more time, and then if you die, it's fine. You've already gotten 10 tenacity up, and you're good to go. And even if you don't end up getting it, I think maybe Geos are a poor choice. We'll see if we chose poorly. But the idea is, you can see everyone pops up with the tenacity up, and then, I mean, we can do an AoE. The AoE might actually set off a chain reaction where everyone just dies, but hopefully Jedi Revan gets a turn here. Yeah, so he'll get a turn. Well, we don't want that. What we want is for Grandmaster Yoda to get a turn, and Grandmaster Yoda is going to give everyone tenacity up again. Then we could stun 2 people at least, and then I guess we'll try to stun one more time here with him, and then Ayla will actually also try to stun. So we're getting lots of stuns if everyone lives. We do the AoE with Jedi Master Luke right away, and that just kind of sets everyone off a little bit. But as you can see here, we gained the tenacity up extra. We gained 1 extra time for some reason. I'm sure that one of you guys can tell me why. I don't remember. But then we also got some progress on the stuns as well. As long as we just do that a couple more times, we'll be golden. And finally, folks, the one that we can climb with. I guess we could try a new one. The one that I haven't even tried yet, but we got this Bo-Katan team, and the idea is we have to get wins against teams with, as long as we need to use 4 Imperial Remnants. So we're just throw the 4 Imperial Remnant in with Sith Eternal here, and we can just jump in, guys. It's gonna be fun. It might not be. It might actually just super suck. We'll see. Super suck. We'll see. Some fun alliteration. And then I will show you guys one more trick for the road to get that Smuggler's Feat if you want it, the universal one. If you're not getting it elsewhere, if you can't get wins with it, you don't want to use Hana and Chewie, etc. It's not too bad. So, I mean, yeah, these guys are going to take a lot of turns here, and that's not fun. Hopefully, we'll eventually get a turn with Sith Eternal, and he will be able to return sanity to the empire or whatever. Doesn't really matter. So yeah, we got this. As long as we can get our ult eventually, I guess I'll be happy. I don't really want to kill Canderous here. I mean, we might end up killing him, but as long as we get wins, that's the main thing, folks. So there's some Whistling Bird, fun. And yeah, so we may just have to do things the hard way. The thing is, once we get all these things going here, we're going to, I mean, they've got all the debuffs, right, from all of the discs, and that's a major part of what we're trying to do as well. Doesn't really matter how we end up winning. Like, they eventually just destroy themselves, though, usually. It's kind of fun. So, yeah, we'll just keep healing, keep going. Eventually, okay, so delinked once again, but we can link once again as well. And my Sith Eternal is modded for a lot of health, and that's about it. He's actually gonna go up to ludicrous health, like 200k health here pretty soon, I think. But for right now, I think he's 170k, and that should be enough. Gosh, we just can't hold a serious conversation, can we? That's fine. This is fine. But as you can see, like, we're not getting good stars here. So, I mean, you can climb this way if you really want to. It's maybe not the most effective thing, honestly, but you can climb this way and you at least get kills at the same time for your feet. So, I mean, this is one of the bosses, and it's not too hard. All of my guys are good, frankly, but like, they're all relict and everything. Imperial Remnants, you don't need that. As long as Sith Eternal lives, then you're good to go. So that's it for that one. And finally, folks, let's just go. So you need Tuskens. If you find Tuskens, you can get the smuggler feat super duper easy. Like, I don't even watch it anymore. I just kind of spam. So you need Tuskens. I have Tuskens on one fight. If you don't get Tuskens, it can be a little trickier. But the thing is, you want a team that your nest can survive the initial few hits. So let's see. Let's just get some. I forget which one I have some smugglers in. Yeah. So I'm not using Han and Chewie. Don't need them here. You just need Nest to have a smuggler team around her. And really, all I do here now, Tuskens take so many turns, but they can't kill Nest in one shot. So you just hit auto, and eventually your team might die, it might not, but one way or another, you are going to. The thing is, you just need wins with your smugglers. You need like 40 wins, something like that. And so, I mean, if you have a ton of stamina on the team, then it's not too hard to win anyways, and your team doesn't actually die against a Tusken team. But even if you have really low stamina, as long as Nest has decent stamina and doesn't get one shot, she can just solo the entire team. So that's how you get a win with your smugglers. And really, guys, I think that's it. So let me know what you think. Tell me if there's, if open exchange of information is so important in today's day and age. Let me know if there's a more efficient way to do some of this stuff, guys. I'd like to know. I hope that some of my methods are going to work for you if you have the right teams and everything. And if not, hopefully you can develop those teams and be more like me. So, gosh, that being said, folks, thank you all so much for watching. And remember that in all things, Xaereth prevails, even in stupid conquest. Yay. Woo.